Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean. This for my city, yeah, this for my team. If you talking, it's how to be nice.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on One Ass Cheek and 3 Toes. Of course, we got the cast of characters here as usual. The Mad Yinser, Monkey, and Nate the Great. How you fellas doing today after round 1 of the NFL draft?
Tired as fuck.
I feel you, bro.
Tired.
I feel you too.
Yeah.
Robbie is just sick and tired.
It's energy drink day.
Yeah, I feel
Robbie
like
is
I'm
just sick
hungover.
and tired. Yeah.
Forget sick. No, forget tired. I'm just sick.
Hey, B, what does your shirt say? Say, I'm not fat.
I'm not fat. I'm just easier to
I'm not
see.
fat.
I'm just easier to see.
See, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. Skip said, and I'm angry.
You're not happy, and Skip said you're angry.
Yeah.
Come on, Nate. Oh, there you go. So anyway, let's get to the nitty gritty before we get into the NFL draft here. So obviously during the draft there was a whole bunch of things going on, like the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs. So we'll get to the NBA playoffs, and of course, you know, Nate's going to be happy about this one. But anyway, Karl Anthony Towns dropped 31 points, and Jalen Brunson added 30 as the New York Knicks beat Detroit Pistons 118-116 in Detroit, taking a 2-1 lead in the series. Cade Cunningham and Tim Hardaway Jr. both had 21 points for the Pistons. Cade, if he don't score 30 points, they're going to lose that series. He's got to score 30 points in that series at least to win. But it is what it is. Oklahoma City came back from a 29 points down and take a commanding 3-0 lead in the series, like I told Nate they would. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 31. Jalen Williams had 26 to aid in the comeback, with Ja Morant going down in the end of the first half. Scottie Pippen scored 28 points. Not that Scottie Pippen, but Scottie Pippen scored 28 points to lead Memphis. They came back. They were down 29 points. 20 freaking 9 points, and they came back and won, but I knew they were going to do that. After 2 close games, Kawhi Leonard and James Harden and the LA Clippers broke through and demolished the Denver Nuggets 117-83, taking the 2 games to 1 series lead. Kawhi had 21, Harden and Norman Powell had 20 each. Jokic and Jamal Murray led the Nuggets with 23 each. The playoff games coming up today: Boston at Orlando at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Celtics are up 2-0. Indiana at Milwaukee, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pacers are up 2-0. And the Lakers at Timberwolves, 9:30 p.m. Series tied at 1. On the NHL playoff tip, the Florida Panthers take a 2-0 lead over the Tampa Bay Lightning as Sergei Brovitsky stopped 19 in a 2-0 victory. 3 stars for that game were Sergei Brovitsky, the goaltender, Andre Vasilevsk, I guess. I don't know his damn name. Damn it. I hate hockey. Nate Schmidt, he had a game-winning goal. Simon Bignot scored on a slap shot from the point at 1:19 of overtime to give Toronto Maple Leafs a 3-2 victory and a commanding 3-0 lead over Ottawa in the Battle of Canada. The 3 stars of that game were Matthew Nyes, Austin Matthew, and Claude Giroux. Kaprizov scored twice on a power play to help the Wild take series lead over the Golden Knights 5-2. And he was one of the stars. Kaprizov. Matt Boley was the star. He got the game-winning goal. And Philippe Gustafsson. The Blues wallop the Jets, and Buchnevich. Oh God, I'm just gonna murder names today. Buchnevich notches hat trick for the 7-2 victory. Cam Fowler for St. Louis was one of the stars. He got the game winner. Of course, it was Buchnevich that got a star, and Robert Thomas got a star. And they, the hell am out of the damn paper go? Yeah, I hate that when that happens. Aha.
Oh,
So Washington at Montreal tonight, 7 p.m. Capitals up 2-0. Carolina at New Jersey, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Canes up 2-0. And the LA Kings at the Edmonton Oilers, 10 o'clock p.m. start time. Kings are up 2-0.
go Kings.
And go Kings. And your Major League Baseball news and scores. The White Sox, and hey, you got to take a picture of this. They beat the Twins 3-0, but it was in 7 innings because it rained. So I guess that's small victories. Small victories.
A win is a win.
Win is a win. Fuck the White Sox. Anyway, Mariners 4, Red Sox 3, Royals 7, Rockies 4, Giants 6, Brewers 5, Royals 6, Rockies 2. That was game 2. And Orioles 2, Nationals 1. Sorry there, Robbie, but the Angels beat the Pirates 4-3. And the Rays beat the Diamondbacks 7-4 in 10 innings. The Athletics beat the Rangers 4-3. Tonight in baseball action.
Hey, you don't gotta be sorry about that. It's the Pirates.
Well, I mean, you had a 2-game winning streak, man. Come on.
It's the Pirates, man. It's all good. I'm used to it.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Baltimore at
He
Detroit.
says kudos,
640.
Nate. Nate jumps off the screen.
Yeah, he keeps jumping off the screen. And damn connection. Baltimore at Detroit, 6:40 p.m. Young versus Mize as a pitcher's duel. Boston at Cleveland, 7:10 p.m. Hawk versus Lively. And look at this. I don't know if you're going to get another L, but you do have your best pitcher playing tonight there, Robbie. Pittsburgh at the Dodgers. Skeens versus Yamamoto. Yamamoto.
So he's gonna pitch a good game, and we lose 4-0.
Yeah.
It'll be nothing when he leaves the game, but after he leaves, then it's gonna turn into 4-0.
Hey, Sonia. Bonus star right there. Yeah, that's Sonia.
Hi, Sonia.
Not Sonia.
Yeah. So now we get into the nitty gritty, which is the NFL draft.
The good stuff.
First of all, how do you guys think that you fared in your NFL draft? Well, Robbie, I kind of know what you have, but I want the world to know what you think.
I give it an F because we took a player with medical concerns. That's why most teams took him off the top of their draft boards.
Lovely.
I didn't find that out until this morning either.
Can he throw touchdowns? That's what I want to know.
No.
We're going to lose 10-7 games, go 3-14.
There you go. At least
then you might be able to get Archie Manning next year then.
There you go.
Yeah, fuck those still young fuckers. Never mind.
You're not a little bit angry at that pick, are you, Robbie?
Yeah. No, my luck, we'll probably take an offensive tackle on top 5 pick.
Red and ready to explode.
Right.
No, in the Steelers, even if we get a top 5 pick or first overall, we'll probably take an offensive tackle because we're too damn cheap to pay a quarterback.
Yeah. What up, Brett? Damn, Nate keeps fading off. What about your pick there, Monkey? I thought you got a pretty decent pick.
Well,
it wasn't splashy, but
I didn't do any research on Hairston whatsoever. So I didn't think he was even a viable option.
Hey, Carla.
Because I figured we would have, if we were going to go corner, one of the there had been, like you had Will Johnson up there last night.
Mm-hmm.
Will Johnson, if it wasn't for his medical issues, would have been gone. And I can almost guarantee you one of those other corners that were picked up would have been there and possibly taken them. But I do like Harrison. He had the fastest 40 time at the combine at the 4.28.
Mm-hmm.
When he was at the combine, he weighed 180 pounds, and I guess he weighs 192 now, as of draft day. So he's at least putting on some weight. The biggest knack on him is his what they say is his willingness to tackle. But I watched a video earlier that basically said the exact opposite. That when he played in high school, he was no contact. He was always trying to just do the coverage. He said, leaving the linebackers and the linemen to deal with it, hitting everybody, hitting the running back. And he also sat there and said, but once he got to college, they said, you gotta play both or you ain't gonna be playing. So obviously he did something because he fucking started.
The dude can play, but I don't know if he's better than Will Johnson.
It's not the point. Availability is your best ability. And they already came out and said that Will Johnson, his career is shortening every day. It's not the question of if his knee is going to give out. It's a matter of when. They said he has a degenerative issue with his knee. That means it's never going to get better, and it's only going to get worse. There is no bright side to grabbing Will Johnson whatsoever.
He's going to get drafted. He's going to get drafted in the next 10 picks.
I'm just saying he could step out of bed and there goes his knee. He could be walking down the street and there goes his knee.
But the talent is there. The talent's there. Like
too high of a risk.
The degenerative thing. I mean, if you say so. I've heard nothing about that. That would have been breaking news.
Sal Capaccio or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that I saw that this morning too, Nate. That he has a degenerative problem with his knee. Kind of like the same thing that CMC has.
Yeah,
but his is early.
CMC's played a pretty good career, so I mean, I don't know.
Well, no, but CMC's degenerative started, this year.
This last injury.
This last injury started that. So he ain't going to be playing long either, as much as they want to do. And Brent, yes, Sonia was happy camper after the Patrick draft. She loved that pick.
I thought it was a good pick.
There you
go, to 123 groups.
Yeah. Yep. See, there she said, very happy. She said she's picking the T-Mac.
Teo.
High risk, high reward. Yeah. High risk, high reward. Yeah. I mean, sure.
Yeah, I'm not coaching with that high risk. Why take a high risk when you don't have to?
I mean, a lot of people had that guy as a second round grade. But I mean,
no, you said that last night, and I researched it, and everybody had him as a first round grade. I don't know why you keep saying that.
It's true.
It's not.
Daniel Jeremiah had him as a second round grade. I mean, it's all good. I mean, at the end of the first round.
Yeah, I saw it, Sonia.
It could be a second round pick, so it really doesn't matter. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, whoever gets Will Johnson,
they're gonna get it.
I'll pray for you.
It's going to be a team that doesn't necessarily need a defensive back, but it'll be like the best player available on the board, and they'll take them just because.
It's gonna
knowing that they don't. You can't depend
Sonia,
on them, is what it is.
It's not musky, it's monkey, sweetie.
Oh, you are welcome.
Not too musky. I know she meant to put that. Yeah.
He'll probably go in the
there. You go.
Almost guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, well, we got to see that. I mean, if Will Johnson goes in there and impresses and does well in his career, then shut our mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But as a business, you can't rely on that. You can't rely on a chance happening. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why he's fallen down. Nobody wants to take him because of his injury. That's
Or
a
they just
business
didn't want
decision.
to.
That has nothing. No, that's a business decision. They don't want
Or
to
they just didn't want
get
to take him in
somebody.
the first round. Yeah, they didn't want to take him in the first round because they don't want to be tied up with all that money.
I mean, they still got to pay the man no matter what. So it's.
Hopefully it pans out.
But if he does well, then he'll make a believer of all of us. But other than that, I mean, he hasn't played it down in the NFL yet, and he didn't play too many downs in college in the last year either because he was hurt constantly. So you gotta take all that stuff into consideration.
Potential,
but
it's fair.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, Sonya, there she is.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to bombard. I just had to come on here because it's too much to text. First of all, great show. Hello, thanks. I'm sorry, B. I will not impose again. You're like, listen.
Oh, you're fine.
Too much power.
Anytime. You're always welcome.
So I really did say monkey. My phone auto corrected when I hit submit. So sorry about that. But Monkey and Yinzer and Nate, hi. Just real quick. Everybody is talking about this Shedeur Sanders thing, him slipping out of the first round. Ad nauseum. And I don't know, I wanted to get you guys' thoughts, and then I'm going to jump off for real, about the fact that Shedeur put a statement out. Of course, Deion did what I thought he was going to do last night, put this video up right after the draft saying it wasn't God's plan for him to go in the first round. I knew he was going to put it, God's plan type thing. But my thing is, today, Shedeur comes out and says, if you don't draft me, I'm not playing quarterback. So basically saying, if the team doesn't draft him and he doesn't get drafted, you're not going to just let a team pick you up later on. What are you guys' thoughts about that? Is it still this ungrateful type attitude?
There's a very thin line between cockiness and being confident.
Mm-hmm. That's
and he's on the wrong side of that line right now. Even if it is just a little bit, he needs to come back to the other side and be a little bit more humble. I understand who his daddy is, but he ain't his daddy, and he needs to understand that. I don't give a shit if he is your daddy. The fact is, you ain't him. Calm it down just a little bit. You need to have confidence as an NFL player. That is, you need it. And you should have it. But you can't be going overboard.
Especially quarterback.
Yeah.
I wanted to know you guys' thoughts because I tried to come down a little bit yesterday before the draft and say, maybe I was wrong about him.
I think it's best. Dumb teams make dumb moves. And I don't understand why the Giants took Jackson Dart, because I don't think Jackson Dart's going to be better than Shedeur Sanders.
That part.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they traded back in, I was like, okay, they're definitely going to come back and get him. That was crazy to me.
Well,
I mean, Cleveland still has a chance to come back and get him in the second round. So, yeah.
Yeah, but the money's gone. Like I think it was Yinzer or Monkey said last night.
Yeah.
That round one money is a wrap.
But does Cleveland make the most sense? That's the question.
And that fifth round option.
Then Cleveland should have grabbed him the first thing. And RC said it this morning. Cleveland and RC said this morning on First Take, the fact, and I'm sorry, Yinzer, the fact that the Steelers are banking on Pickens. Mina Kimes came out and said she could kind of see it both ways because they did this thing before a couple of seasons ago in this win now mentality where they basically wanted to go ahead and get a first rounder, but they was like, do we bank on this just being the Sanders name and putting it all in, or do we look at him and say, you know what, he may hit this ceiling. He may hit a ceiling in the NFL, and I think people have missed out on that. They're so busy on, okay, he should do it. You're missing out that in the NFL, we see it all the time with other players. They come in and they hit a ceiling, or they don't even leave the ground, honestly.
Yeah, I think that, Cleveland not getting them in the first round helps them out because they already got to pay a lot of money out right now. They got Garrett's contract. They still got Deshaun's contract on the hook. They just signed two quarterbacks, basically, Flacco and Little Hands Pickens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Little Hands. But so I mean, they're on a hook for a lot of money right now. I do like the pick that they got as a defensive tackle. That was good. That's going to help their defense out amazingly well. On the offensive side, I don't know what's going to happen to the offense.
I tell you what, though, one team, if it wasn't
Shedeur
for
ain't
them
gonna
being
help.
who they are, I would be scared as fuck next year. And that would be the Cleveland Browns. If it wasn't for the Browns being the Browns, not this following season, but the season afterwards, because they got 2 number 1 picks, they're loading up for next year's draft. And if they don't pick Sanders, that's because they plan on tanking and going after Manning, I can tell you. And I was listening to another podcast this morning, and they were talking about how people have been saying, "Oh, wait till next year's draft class is supposed to be a better draft class."
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't. I think it was Sal Capaccio, the Capaccio guy. I think again saying that it's really not all that much better than this year's draft. You got Archie Manning for a quarterback, and that's basically it for the quarterbacks.
That's crazy.
Like everybody else is mediocre at best.
Yeah, I ain't even heard no other real names.
And Brent, Cleveland Browns and fleecing another team don't go hand in hand. I'm letting you know that.
Fleecing.
that's out.
It's the Jaguars. They're not that much different from the Browns organization.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wanted to also ask, and those are very good, solid points. Like that's exactly what I was thinking, and what Nate said. Like everybody said exactly how I'm feeling. It's a combination of feelings with that. But Yenzer, like RC was saying, this makes it look like Aaron Rodgers is still got.
I'm so sick and tired of hearing about Aaron Rodgers.
I know, but they're saying like you guys don't have a solid. So what is your quarterback like? What are y'all gonna do? What is your plan?
I'm gonna go to church and pray. That's the plan for me. Last night proved that the Steelers have no plan at quarterback.
No plan.
No, who else? We're gonna get one-leg Kirk Cousins. Oh, I'm so happy about him.
You still got rookie. You still got quarterbacks out there. In the draft.
I don't know. Mason Rudolph is a bridge quarterback. Those are if it ain't Milrow or Sanders, the rest are just career backups.
Yikes.
You never know.
Kyle McCord. I watched Kyle McCord play. I'd rather have Duck Hodges come back out of retirement and have him start.
McCord likes to stay in the pocket. He's a pocket passer. Too much of a pocket passer.
Yeah, like last night proved that Steelers have no real plan of quarterback. They're letting Aaron Rodgers treat him like a little fucking hooker on the corner.
That's what I say. It's just trailing him along.
You're a
the Steelers are looking like they want a Turkish snow cone from Aaron Rodgers. Like I'm so sick of Aaron Rodgers.
I hate Aaron Rodgers. Give it. But he ain't stringing nobody along. That's Pittsburgh.
These are the Steelers. They need
Pittsburgh
to.
is doing Pittsburgh needs to say, what? F you. We're gonna get another quarterback.
This ain't your this is not your grandpap Steelers anymore. Yeah, Art Rooney Jr. is a weak owner, and he's just a bitch boy to Mike Tomlin.
Wow. Okay. Well,
if this was the Mr. Rooney, the one that died, he would have told Rodgers to get the fuck out of here. Bye. See you later. He wouldn't have been a thought.
All right. What about Brett said you don't want Milrow?
Milrow, we don't pick in the second round pick. He won't be in the third round.
Oh, you don't pick it.
Milrow, you could see tonight's first round pick. I was hearing it could be Sanders. It can be Milrow.
What? You could trade up. You could trade up into the second round.
And then I heard that watch Cleveland surprise us and take a running back because they don't know what's going on with they don't know what's going on with Nick Chubb. And Nick Chubb had that serious knee injury.
Right.
It could be that Henderson kid. With the first pick.
Yeah, I don't
know. But as for last night, Steelers took a defensive lineman with medical issues, and it proved they had no plan for quarterback. And I don't want to hear no more about Aaron Rodgers. I'm so sick and tired of him.
Yeah, the whole world is. Right.
All right. Well, let's start talking about Kirk Cousins then. How's that?
And they keep talking about him, dude. He's gonna get booed every game if he becomes a quarterback.
Trey Lance needs a job.
Who, Kirk Cousins or Aaron Rodgers?
Hey, can we get Nathan Peterman? He's still on the Bills.
Oh, you don't want Nathan Peterman.
I'll take him. Man, put it this way: if Rudolph gets injured, if Mason Rudolph gets injured, Skylar Thompson's going to come into the game. I might turn my
He's
TV
still
off
better than
there.
Nathan Peterson.
Shit.
He's
5
still better than
interceptions
Nathan
in the first
Peterson.
half. Come on.
Oh, shit.
You couldn't do that if you tried. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, they're gonna cost me to go back
I
and
think
get
you guys.
drink.
I think you guys are
in the
getting.
first
I
half.
think you guys are going to do exactly what Monkey said. You're going to trade up to the second round and get you a quarterback. That's what you're going to do.
What would we
The
trade
thing
up? What would we trade?
You would trade probably George Pickens, to be honest with
It
you.
had to be-
You got picks, man. You got picks
It
for
had
next
to
year
be-
too.
Get it? I'm just saying, hypothetically, if you use George Pickens, he's worth a
If
second.
we
He's
trade
definitely
for
worth a
Milroad
second
Monkey
plus.
and you predict that shit, I'll come to New York and I'll give you a handshake. I'll come
had
right
to
to your
make
front
sure
door.
Pickens, if
You know
trade
what?
George Pickens,
I would
and get a second,
make sure no one kicks your garbage cans over except for me.
I had to make sure this was going to stop at a handshake. I was about to be off this live so quick. I didn't know what was about to happen next.
Oh man, no, get out of here
I
with
was
that.
on that same level.
We boys, but you better get on with that fruity stuff.
Listen,
we're boys. We ain't boys like
all
that.
I heard was
This ain't
Yeah.
Philadelphia,
I was like,
man.
wait a
What you
second.
think I am?
I know you don't believe
He's from
me. That's
Pittsburgh,
what
not
I'm saying.
Philly.
That's why I was
You
like,
think I'm Kanye West?
no, I was like, when you said hand, I was
Where'd she go?
Yeah, that's what she meant. Though.
That's
She said,
what I
Sonia,
meant.
where'd you go?
I'm out of here. She said, I'm out of here. See you
Well, that's
Come
all I
back.
wanted to do, guys.
He's not Meek Mills.
He's not P. Diddy.
Nah.
I got a joke about that too, but I'm not sure.
I'm pretty much a happy married man right now. I'm good.
Very good.
There you go.
Well, that's all I wanted to do, guys, was ask you guys your opinion about that. I appreciate it. I'll be watching behind the scenes. Thank y'all for letting me bombard. I won't do it next time. I just didn't have time.
Oh, you're good. Anytime, you're welcome.
All right, I'll see you guys tonight.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, Sonia, you have a good one.
Bye. You too. Bye.
Bye.
But
Fuck out of here with that shit.
Now, let's see. Who do you think did really well in the first round?
Dude, I think did
Browns
well.
did.
I like
think the
Atlanta.
Browns
I
did
think
well.
the Falcons did good.
Atlanta
they
did
got
well.
two
I think the
Yeah.
Giants did well.
They got potentially 2 good pass rushers.
And so just the Giants and the Falcons.
Giants,
Jaguar,
Falcons, Browns. If it wasn't for the Browns being the Browns, that would have been a good.
To be quite honest, if I was the Jaguars, I would have stayed at 5 and got Genty.
Jaguars fucked up.
Yeah, I would have stayed at 5. What do you expect? They got Tony Khan and Omar Khan. Not Omar Khan. Sheik Khan is dad. They don't know anything about football. They're more wrestling gurus.
Well, the worst part about it is they sit there and you got people giving him an A+ draft grade. They just
Did they give out grades yet? ESPN, did they do grades?
Yeah, they started grading the first round like almost immediately after it was over.
Yeah. Everybody.
I've watched like 7 podcasts today,
Right.
and at least 5 of them had it done.
I was so mad last night, dude. I didn't even watch any cable. I just watched The Boys and went to bed.
Dude, as soon as the draft was over, and we were done, I hit leave studio and I was out. Bedtime.
I went right to work, brother. So
I am not next year. I'm just gonna take Friday off.
Yeah, I ate a gallon of ice cream and went to bed.
Damn. Okay.
No, I didn't. I didn't eat a gallon of ice cream, but
it's a wild low. Hey, just a couple other points. I know this has to do with my team, so you can go to sleep if you want. But anyway, they extended Hutchinson and JMO. So we will not hear any more JMO trade rumors because that was a bunch of BS any damn way. So,
but they re-signed them both.
That reminds me. Someone last night was talking about how they might get the Giants might be getting rid of.
I was just joking.
Now, or might be.
No, because they got to pick up his 5th-year offense.
Yeah,
I didn't eat no gallon of ice cream.
Why would you pick up a 5th-year option if you're just going to trade him away?
Who's the DT Wizzy? Who's DT Wizzy?
You, D Twizzy.
D
Oh,
Twizzy.
back in here.
I'm D
Nate's trying to
Twizzy.
get him back in here. D Twizzy. D Twizzy.
D Twizzy.
Anyway,
Okay.
D Twizzy.
D Twizzy.
Maybe Nate will be staying around this time. Jesus. Anyway, who you think had the worst pick?
I'm gonna be
I
a
know
homer
Robbie's
on
There's a
this.
couple.
I know you're going to say something.
There's a couple, and I do agree with Robbie. I think the Lions definitely, the Steelers are definitely down there, or up there for one of the worst.
I'm gonna be a homer, man, because from what I heard, every team took Derek Harmon off the top of the draft board. D Twizzy is Detroit.
Detroit, yeah.
Derek Harmon had medical injuries, and every team took him off the top of their draft board, supposedly. So
who did you say, Monkey?
Undecided yet. There's a couple.
there.
Hold on a second. I gotta start looking it up just to be more specific.
Stowers get
So
an F.
Nate, who do you think had the best first round? Nate.
Honestly, I think the Falcons did. I like what the Falcons did. I had to trade. They traded up for Pierce, but they got Walker, hometown boy. Like, I mean, here's the old adage: if you got a lot of good quarterbacks or up and coming quarterbacks in that division, you've got to find a way to stop them. And so you can never have enough pass rushers. And the fact that Atlanta doubled down on 2 pass rushers tells me all I need to know, because the Eagles showed that you got to have good pass rushers to win.
The Bengals sucked ass.
Oh yeah,
that was terrible.
Bad pick.
That was terrible.
I'm looking at CBSSports.com, and they gave him a grade of C, and it says the Bengals needed edge help. It says the Bengals needed edge help, but Stewart is raw and lacks football instincts. There wasn't a lot of production into his game. The tape shows a player who needs to learn how to play football, but the talent is there. First round draft pick, you need to learn how to play fucking football? Bro, you're going into pros. You should know how to play football by now.
Brent, I think we're going to trade up to get Gordon.
I don't believe what CBS says. They gave our pick a C+ too. Those whack-offs.
What the Steelers get?
That's the one thing too. Atlanta gave a lot of
what the Steelers get, Kev?
B-. A B-.
B-. Yeah, for
right,
B for
fine.
bad.
I'll get out of CBS Sports. Hold on. Let's go to the next one. PFF. How's that?
It's just a matter of opinion from everybody. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Eagles get a B+.
I'm sure if all 4 of us had our own grading systems, we wouldn't all be the same either. So it's just
Yeah, I trust the people that actually study these players over and over again.
So
I think the Dallas Cowboys could have done better than drafting a guard. I understand they needed him, but I think another playmaker on the offensive side of the ball would have been a much better pick. Even if you had to trade back, because there was quite a few teams that were trying to trade ahead.
Yahoo Sports gave Lions a B.
They wanted McMillan, but McMillan was gone before that, and Jerry Jones doesn't really draft UT players. He's a hog.
Well, he needs to stop being so fucking ignorant.
Well, that's not going to stop. Anyway, the Mad Yinser, what did you give? What grade did you give to your team? This would be hilarious. Monkey, I'm not even go further than that. Monkey, what did you give your team?
Oh, I give him an A-.
Okay.
I would have given him an A+ if they would have. I think a defensive tackle would have been a better choice. But being that they did, he was ranked as like the 3rd or 4th best cornerback in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really a reach.
I give him a solid B
at the end of the first round.
Solid B. The guy can't tackle either. That's not good.
But okay, tackler. So Nate,
most corners aren't strong in tackling anyway. coverage.
Our cornerbacks can tackle.
Anyway, Nick,
How's
what
every-
would you give the Lions as a grade?
B. It's a B.
A B? Okay.
Solid B.
Can your corners tackle better than your linemen or your linebackers or your
A
safeties?
corner, hey, it doesn't matter. They can tackle. A corner's job is to cover.
Exactly.
It also they also need to tackle too.
Dion
And he's
couldn't
not a willing
tackle.
tackler, so that means that he's. Well, I'm just saying we got.
I
Dion-
mean, if you can, if you can, as a corner, if you can tackle, that's a plus. I mean, it's not a requirement.
Yeah.
It's not a necessity.
That's
But
just,
in the run
that's
support
just
nowadays,
basic. That's just
you
basic
want
corner
a willing
corner
tackler.
coverage.
He is a willing tackler.
That's why you have safeties.
They said. You said he wasn't a willing. You said the scout
No.
said he wasn't a willing tackler.
No, I said that's what it was reported as.
Oh.
Well, from what I was watching this morning,
That he wasn't a tackler. Or he was a tackler?
he was not a tackler when in high school. When he came into college, they told him, if you don't learn to tackle, then you're not going to be able to play.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, he decided to learn how to tackle because he got an awful lot of playing time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just heard willing to tackle, so I didn't hear the high school part. So, all right, cool. I still give it a B.
Well, I mean, was everybody surprised about Jacksonville?
No, I was surprised that they, traded up like
Hell
that.
yeah.
He didn't log off, Sonia. He just
They gave
ended
up a lot
up being
for Travis.
cut off.
Right.
He's working, so he has bad service.
Yeah, he's in BFE, Texas. That's why he got the bad cell.
Yeah,
thing
Bill.
going on. I said Jackson. She likes what Jacksonville did. I mean, you can't go wrong with Travis Hunter. He was the best player in the draft. So.
But all these people who think he's gonna play two-way ball and he's gonna do it like on a regular basis for his whole career, you're out of your fucking mind, because he will not last his rookie contract. He will not be able to make it to the fifth-year option. He will be out in 3 or 4 years.
You could I mean, you can put him in packages on offense. Just have him play steady defense because he's a better corner than he is a receiver. But you can put packages in it. I mean, there's nothing no different than what Charles Woodson was doing in there. Dion was doing, but they're not playing. They're not playing both sides of the ball on an equal basis. Like when you get out there, he's a starter, or in both sides. Nah, that ain't gonna happen.
Right. But the way he makes it sounds is he wants to play both sides like a lot, and he can't do that. If he does it like Dion did and Woodson did, yeah, I can understand that, because they were only out there. Dion was only out there when they went 4 wide. He wasn't out there, or 3 wide. He played the slot or whatever. But during that time, during that era, going 3, having 3 wide receivers was not all that common. It was still, a run, dominant league.
The Steelers. Dayona Rusi report that the Steelers have been receiving calls about George Pickens.
See, I'm telling you, you're going to get moved up to the second round, and then you're going to go and get Sanders or Milroe.
Probably Milroe. It's probably going to be Milroe. But trading Pickens will leave us in the same situation we were last year. Because we don't know if Roman Wilson's going to pan out. I'm not saying Roman Wilson's going to suck, but we don't know if he's going to be good or not.
But I'm saying if you trade George Pickens for a second, where you don't actually give up your third in the process, because I don't see you having to do that. But anywho, with your third pick, say you go after a receiver, there's plenty of able-bodied receivers out there in the draft still, and they should be still in the third round.
Yeah, I don't understand that whole situation either.
Quentin Ewers, I saw going as a 4th or a 5th or later on down the line draft pick.
There was
a very good point brought up about Ewers, though. If Manning was so good as a quarterback in Texas, how come Ewers has been starting a lot of the games?
Because Ewers Stark had a love for Ewers.
Yeah.
Didn't Ewers get
they-
benched
they
for
were-
Madden?
There was something that they brought up like mid-season. There was
I don't buy that.
something on some podcast.
I mean, coaches have favorites in quarterbacks, and he favored Ewers over Manning. I don't think Manning's going to point. Him and Sark are going to blow up, and you because I just don't think I don't
think he's going in the fourth round either.
He liked Ewers a lot more.
Who's going to go fourth round?
He's supposed to be a late round
Ewers.
draft pick.
Ewers? They can keep my Gatorade cold if I was a coach.
They were even talking about how the Bills
And the
might
thing-
draft
and the
him, and they were talking about that in the 5th round.
I mean, to
And-
your
and the
point,
thing
Brett,
is
that
with the
was
receiver-
one game, and that was against a pretty good
No, I
defense.
didn't watch that. I haven't watched much of Milrow, but it's Michigan. Like, Michigan always had a good, solid defense. Like, what quarterback won't struggle against them?
Yeah.
And on the Pickens thing, because I think that say that you could just go get another receiver and have the WR.
Pickens is a head
Talking
case.
about talent, does those receivers have the talent that Pickens has?
Don't need the talent as much
Yeah, he
as
might be a head
Pickens.
case
They
and all
just
that,
need
but the
someone to
talent,
be. You need someone serviceable, and you need someone to shut their mouth and not be a diva.
Well, obviously, they don't see Pickens as a number one if they traded for DK.
But that's a receiver in general. Receivers are loud-mouthed people. That's just the way the NFL.
Not
works.
all of them.
Not
all of them.
are like that.
Pickens.
Don't say that.
Pickens will cry after a win.
No, the big time ones. There's very far and few that are very quiet, like Amon St. Brown. He just goes about his business.
Jamar Chase ain't loud.
But Amon was a 4th-round pick. He wasn't a 1st-round pick.
Chase ain't loud until it comes to his contract.
Hey,
Justin
if he
Jefferson
was-
really ain't either.
if he wasn't getting-
he
if
did
he-
say some. He was like that at the end of the year until Meek locked his ass down.
Of course, Chase will be happy. He's getting fed the ball.
All I'm saying
If he
is, if
wasn't
you're going to
getting
trade
fed the
Pickens,
ball.
you better get some talent in return for that.
Right.
Well,
that's what
if
I'm
we
saying.
trade
They can
Pickens,
pick up-
I highly
You can pick up a
believe
receiver
if we
for
trade Pickens, Roman Wilson is a capable, good slot receiver. Calvin Austin will get number 2.
And you like
I mean,
Austin, don't you?
I like Austin. He ran-
To your
I
point,
like
though.
Austin.
To your point, though, Robbie, you're saying that you don't know what you're going to have in Roman Wilson. Roman Wilson, but
Right.
at the same time, you don't know what you're going to have in the quarterback that you draft. Go up in the draft for. That's the point. I mean,
Yeah.
it can work both ways. So I mean, nobody knows what these draft picks. Everything is great. Cam Ward could fall on his freaking face in Tennessee. You don't know.
If I heard today
all
that the
these all these
Steelers-
players could be crap.
I know one thing for sure. If I heard today that the Steelers trade for Kirk Cousins, I might trash this whole room behind me.
Well, that is your room.
Don't do that.
It's my man cave.
Don't do that.
This is my man cave. This ain't my room.
Well,
I just think I just think as much as a head case you're talking about, you're not going to find a talent like Pickens in this draft. So you better get some future picks. That's all I'm saying.
Pickens. Oh, I remember Pickens crying after a win against the Titans. We won the game. He's sitting there crying about his lack of production. Like, I don't care. We won. Go cry in your damn locker room.
Yeah, that's diva stuff that you don't want to see, and then trying to start fights with the fans. That's another thing you don't want to see.
Yeah.
It's just little things like that. I mean, all receivers don't act like that. All starting receivers don't act like that. It's very. I mean, it's like I aim it as like police. All police ain't bad. It's just those few bad apples that mess everything up for everybody.
But in the sense of the NFL, there are more diva receivers than there are low-key receivers because that is a very high maintenance.
We lost them again.
They just have more. They're just more apt to be divas.
Who's Ricky White? Or maybe Thorne Jr. Were they wide receivers?
Jeff Ricky, what? Yeah, I think
you still got Trey Harris, Luther Burton III, Jalen Noel, Jake Beck, Jalen Royals, Kyle Williams.
To be quite honest, if we trade Pickens, I think Roman Wilson and Calvin Austin will make fine additions to the offense.
Yeah.
A standpoint, I
still
would
got-
take Pickens for all those guys you just named.
As you can see, last year I wanted Roman Wilson, if you remember, Brian.
You got
last year in the
Freiermuth,
draft.
too, and you
Yeah,
got
I'm talking.
Freiermuth. You can't forget about Freiermuth.
I remember
He's a
last year we
capable
did
receiving
the.
tight end.
Remember last year we were talking about the draft. I wanted Roman Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You sure did. That's
I'm only
a
trading
receiver I
Pickens
wish
for
we
the
would
right
have got.
deal. Like it's got to be.
Hey,
It's got
if
to
we
be a
can get
future pick. It's got to be future.
if we can get a second for Pickens, I would do him.
Oh yeah, you're probably not gonna get a second, maybe a third.
We're not gonna resign him, so why keep him? You know, but you just gonna let him
with all
walk?
that talent he has, he should definitely be worth at least a second.
Pickens is good, but he's not.
It depends what the NFL circles see it as.
I don't even think he's like. I don't even think he's JMO good.
I mean, if I'm Vegas and I need a receiver like that, I would go after Pickens because you just got Ashton Genty and you got Brock Bowers. Now you add Pickens, you get a number one receiver. Jacoby Myers becomes your two. Now you got to find a quarterback.
Where did the Raiders pick in the second round?
Like fifth.
Shit, I'll trade him, and then I'll take Milrow with that pick.
You got Ashton Genty as their which everybody thought they were going to do anyway.
Yeah.
Raiders need a receiver.
Exactly. They need a number one receiver. Pickens makes perfect sense because he would go to that offense, be the number one guy, get all the targets. Myers becomes two. Brock is your safety blanket, and then you got Genty. I like that.
No, Brock is actually your number one receiver.
Well, yeah.
he was out there out balling last year. So
yeah.
I heard
if Pickens went to that offense, he'd be number one. And then
I heard stories about Pickens going to New England.
They already have Diggs.
Diggs ain't guaranteed to play. He got that ACL.
He's gonna play.
They also brought in D-Hop for interview visit.
They're not gonna pay Diggs all that money if he ain't gonna play. He's gonna play. Now,
you said D-Hop?
Vegas also has Michael Mayer too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I keep trying to say.
Yeah, D-Hop. He's with the Ravens now, huh?
He's a free agent right now.
He's a free agent. Yeah.
I thought the Ravens signed him.
They traded for him, or they picked him up.
Oh, the Ravens. Did they release him because the Ravens signed D-Hop?
They signed him for the year, and after the year was over, so was the contract.
Yeah.
It was only a 1 year deal.
He had a one year deal. Yeah.
He was on the Chiefs.
D-Hop is with the Ravens.
D-Hop was on the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Remember he dropped that ball.
DeAndre Hopkins is with the Ravens.
I mean, no, we do need a position, Sonia, but it's not what we got. Like I said, I wasn't happy that we got, but I'll live with it. And I don't hate the pick either because I understand
the way the board was falling. I mean, who else are you taking?
Yeah. They could have picked I'm saying they could have picked a defensive end. They still had those defensive ends left. And they could have got him in the second round anyway. But it is what it is.
But let me ask you this question: What defensive end were you taking that had a first round grade? That Nick Scorton was a second round grade.
You had Mike Green.
They're not taking Mike Green, bro. You know the character situation.
Well, you said which one had a first round grade?
Okay,
not Mike Green.
Okay, outside of Mike Green because his character issues, Scorton being a second round. Who else would you say?
Who else was left?
That's what I'm saying. There wasn't a lot left in the first round.
Mike Green didn't get drafted.
Still got it. But see, this is the thing. Now I'm starting to understand some.
That's sad.
So if they could have waited on a defensive tackle. He would have been available in the second round. They would have picked up Nick Scorton. They would have been
still there.
Yeah, that him too.
And
if they would have took.
I just don't like the way they did it. And now what they're going to have to do is come back from 60 to get a defensive end. And so you're spending draft capital on doing that. Instead, they could have just got the defensive tackle in the second round if they wanted, and still got a defensive end. He might not have been all the way first grade, but he'd be between first and second round, which were the lines we're at anyway.
You would have had to trade up to get Williams.
I don't think
there's still quite a few edge rushers that are out there that are still good.
I don't know about that. 3 rounds of hoping for the edge first, not unhappy. I'm with you there, Brent. What Green do?
I mean, if they wanted Nick Scorton, they should have just traded out of the 28th and just gotten Nick Scorton in the second round. If that's the case.
I just think they just did it ass backwards. That's all. I just think they did it.
According to ESPN,
if they take Nick
Scorton is only the 6th best edge left.
Only the 6th.
Yeah.
If they take Nick Scorton today,
who's number 1 on that list?
Mike Green.
Who's number 2? Go down the list actually.
Okay, Mike Green, number 1. Number 2, Donovan Ezraku.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Jordan Birch. Number 4 is JT Umalo. Number 5 is Olufemi Aladejo.
Okay.
Number 6 is Nick Scorton. 7 is Landon Jackson. 8 is Josiah Stewart. 9 is Braden Swinson.
Wow, they don't have Jack Sawyer? What the hell is Jack Sawyer?
Jack Sawyer, I'm getting to. He's number 14.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was going to stop it once I got to him.
The deal with Mike Green is, Sonia, is that he has very bad off. I think he's got a case even.
Yeah, he's got an open case right now.
Yeah, he has character issues.
He's got off-field issues.
I mean, if the Lions wanted to take a swing, they would have
essay issues.
But Pierce went before them. That's the thing.
Yeah, Birch is.
I like my rankings. I'm just going off of what ESPN says. This is all according to ESPN. This is where I got the info from.
Yeah, that's a weird.
So y'all know.
Yeah.
Oh, poop.
Yeah. She was talking about the Mike Green thing.
Mike Green.
I mean, if they want Scorton B, they're gonna have to trade up to get him.
Well, I know that now they have to, yeah. But I mean, if there's six of them, according to what Monkey just read off, there's 6 of them. I mean, we're at 60.
Jackson. I like Jackson from Arkansas, man. I think that guy's low key underrated. I would take Jackson. I've seen him play.
Yeah. There you go. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Just get somebody that's fucking functional on line that can get to the damn
just
quarterback.
Somebody can rush the passer. Somebody can rush the passer. That's it.
Yeah, somebody can rush the passer. I don't care. I don't care who it is. Come on. Get somebody. Damn
That's
it.
all we need. If not, it's gonna be Muhammad. Which I'm not mad about either.
No, Matt LaFuck is talking to ESPN, huh?
Screw that guy.
Nick Scorton overall is the 32nd ranked player left.
Damn.
So you may actually not have to draft up.
Right.
You may be able to sit pretty where you're at. And if you do have to trade up, maybe it's only like a couple spots.
I'd bet my bottom dollar. I bet my bottom dollar he goes in the top 10. If he's there for the Lions all the way down to the bottom, I'd be shocked.
What time's the draft start tonight?
That would be a step.
At 7 o'clock?
Yep. The Falcons gave a first round of the 26th draft for trade up. Yeah, Falcons gave a lot of damn picks up.
They did. They did.
Were dumb.
Go to Jacksonville.
Yep, they were both dumb.
Jacksonville and the Falcons both gave up a lot.
At least I can say for Jacksonville is they got the best player in the draft. Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas we don't know if either one of those two ends are going to be, good for Atlanta. I just, this draft is all buggy any damn way. You know what I'm saying? It's just the weirdest draft. You really can't. I mean, you can only go by what you have in the draft. So that's why people are saying, well, this guy is good. This guy is good. This guy is good. But if you put them against rookies from last year? Do you think it would match up
on players?
I don't think they would match up with rookies from last year. I'm just saying, not all of them. Going top 15 for sure. Yeah, could be.
I didn't say he's not going. I'm just saying that's where he's ranked. You know, he's ranked 32nd overall for who's left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's how the league's going to move. They can,
because you got needs.
Mm-hmm. You got it, man. You got it.
And I'm sure Nate's ready. He probably will go in the first top 10 picks.
Sonia, your hate for Atlanta is just great. I love it.
And she lives down there is amazing.
Right?
She don't like the Falcons.
No, she don't like the Falcons.
28-3.
Yeah. She loves using that too.
I barely see a Falcon fan, so I can't even talk shit to them.
Only the NSN guys.
Buzzards. That's what they are, the buzzards. That's what she calls them. The
You know what the sad part is? I think one of the NSN guys used to be a Falcon fan.
So in ending the show today, everybody check out the draft at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there or be square. Be on this network. We're going to do the same thing that we did last night. Oh, we got 2 rounds to go through.
He's showing his age.
Go Nick.
I'm glad I ain't got to work. I'm glad I ain't got to work tonight, man, because I'll be dead.
How many people are going to be on tonight? A lot.
I'm taking a nap.
Probably just as many people we had last night. Yeah, edges are going to fly off the board in spurts because people need edges.
Yeah, that was a long night.
That's the sexy pick, you know.
I hope they leave Jalen Milroe alone.
Love you too, Sonya.
I can almost guarantee you the Bills are going to pick one up. Now,
yeah. As long as Jalen Milroe gets left alone, we're cool.
And just on a programming note, last week will be the last week for this show at this time slot because unfortunately reality and real life catch up to you. So it's like I have to work day shifts, so I'll be working at 2:00.
On the side note,
yet I have to check with the network and see what time slots. It'll be in the evening though, obviously.
Oh, good.
On the sad note, I feel bad for Trash and Harmon because his mother passed away this morning.
That sucks.
Yeah, I feel bad for that. Now I feel bad for Trash and the kid.
Damn. See, karma's a mother.
What time?
Well, I didn't trash him. I was bashing the Steelers.
Oh well, whatever. Community service.
Hey, what time is the second round?
7:00.
7:00. Starts at 7.
Okay.
Eastern time. 7:00 Eastern time. You on Eastern time, Nate?
Yeah, he's on Eastern. No, he's on Central time.
Central.
Yeah. So
what time? What time is it over? What time is it over in Texas?
For him.
6 o'clock. Just said 6
right now.
Yeah, it's 2:00 right now. It's 3 here. So everybody's on Eastern Standard Time except that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Deuces. Anyway, everybody have a great day. And Nate, go ahead and say what you got to say, brother.
Go Knicks, baby.
Okay, that's not what I wanted you to say.
Deuces.
Oh,
fuck the
stay
Knicks.
classy, Whacker.
Anyway,
fan.
there you go.
Stay classy, Whacker fans.
Thanks for tuning in to the show. Join us on YouTube, X, Instagram, and TikTok under 1 Chief 3 Toes.